All right, let's move it on. Minnesota Vikings versus the Indianapolis Colts. Both teams 0-1. I thought the Colts would win. That was a bad loss for the Colts and Colts fans. Let me hit you with projections quickly. Kirk Cousins is a start. Dalvin Cook is a start every single week. Thielen is a start. I'm still starting B.C. Johnson over Jefferson at this point. Everybody else from Minnesota is a sit. Indianapolis, I think Rivers is a start. I am now a firm start on both Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines. T.Y. Hilton's a start, and I still like Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell, if you're weak at receiver, I think he's your waiver wire guy. I'm sitting Doyle this week. I still think he has value in this offense and what they want to do, but I'm sitting him. Take it away, David.
Let's talk about the Colts first, because I hate to say it, but Marlon Mack being out of the picture is like as ideal as it could get. I was already drafting Nyheim Hines over Marlon Mack.
Right.
I wasn't drafting either of them. But in my ranking sheets, I had Hines higher than Mack just because he has that receiving role. Maybe with Phillip Rivers, there's some connection. I think we came out and we found out it ain't no joke about Phillip Rivers. He likes to target running backs. Not only did Hines have 8 receptions for 45 yards and a touchdown, talk about Jonathan Taylor also had 6 receptions for 67 yards. Marlon Mack, he was hurt midway through the second quarter. He himself had 3 receptions for 30 yards. So the running back targets are going to be there, especially now that it's a 2-man committee. Nyheim Hines, maybe put him above James Robinson. I said James Robinson. I might have 3 numbers.
He's this year's Austin Eckler, man.
It's going to be close. It really is, because they don't have a great tight end. Jack Doyle, he's a blocker. He's a complimentary piece. Hilton's getting older. I like Paris Campbell a lot, especially talk about this Minnesota matchup. Green Bay had 3 wide receivers just torch this Minnesota defense. Adams, Valdez, Scantling, Lazard. You talk about Paris Campbell faced up against Minnesota. I think if you don't pick him up this week, you ain't going to have a chance to after next week.
Yep. I mean, let me just talk about the running back. So Marlon Mack, his injury. If you're one of the people, I know you've been high on Jonathan Taylor all season, and we heard the buzz, people thought it might be a smokescreen or whatever. Marlon Mack comes out. He's on a little bit of a tear, and likely, I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but his Achilles, card off the field, it's blown. So if you drafted Jonathan Taylor, in my late Almanac calibrated rankings, I was like, you need to drop Taylor a round or 2 because it's going to take him like 6 to 8 weeks to come through. Well, if you were one of the people, like probably you were, David, that drafted him in like the first 3 or 4 rounds, breathing a sigh of relief, because now Jonathan Taylor, he's going to take this opportunity and never give it up. He's going to be fantastic in this offense. My only question was whether or not Marlon Mack was going to keep him off the field. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Hines, he's somebody that we were kind of, dipping our toe in the water on in the Almanac. At this point, put him up there. He will have season-long value as a receiver. He is this year's Austin Eckler. Get him on your roster if he's not already there. Minnesota, that offense will get better. I credit Green Bay's defense, and Minnesota's a little rusty, so I think they'll be better. Man, this is a big game. Minnesota's defense, we've said all along that with the transitions they've had, they're going to be a little bit in flux. We saw it in week 1. Indianapolis moved the ball against Jacksonville. Their red zone offense is going to get better. This is interesting. Let me hit you with the line. Minnesota +3 against Indianapolis.
I'm going to take Minnesota just because I feel like it's a little easier for me to respect losing to Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, who's on a tear, than Indianapolis losing to Jacksonville. As much as I like Minshew and I think their offense is good, it don't say a lot when you lose to Jacksonville week 1. I mean, losing to Green Bay, it's not as bad. I'll take Minnesota here.
I think it's such a close game. I'm just going to take the points. I mean, it's important for both teams. Indianapolis, that was a bad loss for them. For me, and we haven't seen Tennessee play yet, but that immediately vaults Tennessee up to the top of the division in my mind. And by the way, we talked about Philadelphia and Dallas already. I'm already saying I think I'm wrong on those two picks, because Dallas looked a lot better than Philly in week 1, even in that loss.